without having some principles, we should just go and kill ourselves, right? We should go just end it, because the life doesn't really have a meaning without any kind of principles. The meaning of the life depends of the principles we use and we believe in our lives. And if you don't have any kind of principles, just go and... I'm just kidding. Don't do this. It's ridiculous. Just remember this. Albert Camus was a person to say the life has many joy. We, as a human being, we should always search for the meaning, even though there might not be an inherent one. There is an author, and he is a very well-known, successful businessman, and he is one of the richest man in the world, and I think he was 60th richest person in the world. His name is Dalio, and his book is about principles, whether they are about the work or about the life we live on a daily basis. So this book is about the principles, and this book contains a lot of information that you can use for yourself, and a lot of information that you can use for your well-being in the future, in the present. This kind of information will change your neurons, which you already have in your brain, and it will have effect on neuroplasticity. Because whether you are talking to a person or you're reading a book, whether they are very prominent or not, they have the effect to alter your brain, alter your worldview, alter your frame of mind. Mindset is a very important topic, and these kind of books have a very strong effect on your mindset, and they are very powerful to change your mindset or to grow your mindset, to discover your frame and enlarge in your frame. So this kind of books will make you profitable, whether it is your business or it is your personal life. It will have a direct effect on you, because this kind of books you will be learning from the champions. The champions will tell you the people who are very successful in the world, and they have developed the world. They are very charitable. They have some organizations which should purely depend on their charity. And you can see some people like Bill Gates surrendering, leaving their work to join charity, lead charity, to end poverty. These people are not like angels, but these people are good. It is very important to define good, and I don't define this as Ray Dalio doesn't. I don't define the good depending on the principles, depending on the things we hear on a daily basis. I don't do this, and you might not want to do this either, because doing this kind of thinking and having this kind of judgments in your life can bring your life in a miserable point. Your life can be miserable, and you can also be miserable, whether it's at work, at your business, personal life, relationships, family matters, and friendship matters, and people you are acquainted with, the matters with those kind of people, and these are very prominent for you, for the quality of your life. Some solid principles that you will have in your life will change it. The way you live and the way you improvise, the choices you make on a daily basis will have a significant effect on your life, and therefore it's important to have some advice from the prominent people who did understand the world and who was very successful on understanding the world, who could sell things, who could sell their ideology, who could sell their ideas to the world, and they have enlarged the world itself. We use their products this day. Not everybody did have cameras on their phone. Not everybody didn't have phone. And I don't talk about the mobile phone. I talk about the phone we used to have on our homes. Some people didn't even have that, and this isn't a distant past. This was a very close. Thanks to those people, thanks to those entrepreneurs, we can use our phones with cameras, and it is for a very cheap price. And these people had very solid mindsets. This book is about that, the mindset. This is one of the most important assets you can have in your life. The mindset is one of the most significant asset that you can ever have, and one of them is time. And I think nothing beats the time. Time is the most single important asset in your life. You should never waste it. And I don't think I'm taking this too far, I'm taking this too further when I say this. Even 5 minutes is important, because you can never have those 5 minutes back. Don't waste your time and energy. Don't waste your life, because you will see many people are wasting their life, their youth, their free time. And because they have wasted their time, they will be living in suboptimal conditions. They will be living in a poverty scenario. They will be poor perhaps, and they might have more health problems than a person who has developed themselves in the ways that we can find in the books. I think one of the most important investment that you can ever make is your education. And I don't think about the mainstream education. I don't mean that. I don't mean mainstream education. I think it is mostly worthless. And as a physician, I'm saying this. I think it's mostly worthless. I don't say the training of medicine was any kind of insignificant, but I before we got into the med school, we had to study on the very, very lame subjects. I don't use most of them today. It isn't necessary for my work, and I think the most of the stuff you have learned in the school necessarily isn't necessary for your work and for your daily life. You don't use them on a daily basis, or you don't use them on your work. And by reading the books, especially the books, the people had very prominent effect on the world. The books of the people who were very significant, and we can see some of those people have extended their period. And just think about Socrates, just think about Aristotle, and those people had exceeded their lifetime, exceeded 20 lifetimes, 30 lifetimes, and they are still being read, because these people had very prominent ideas that literally shaped our world today. And after the Industrial Revolution, this kind of knowledge exchange did rapidly increase. And by rapidly increasing our knowledge exchange, we are a very developed species. Just think about, I think the world has tens of millions of species, and we are the single most dominant species in the world. We are very successful, and one of the reasons is we are able to share our information to the future and interchange the information in ourselves. We are some kind of independent, some kind of dependent species to ourselves. Maybe let's call it interdependent. And this kind of dependence and independence has shaped our world. And we can have the world in a better way if we spend our time in a wise way. If we spend our time wisely, we can alter the world in a good shape. We can We can decide the world, we can decide the way the world is going to take. And it is a very powerful position to be in. And I urge you to stop wasting your time, because it is the most single important asset you can ever have. Read books, speak to people who has the experience and who are very reliable and who are very smart on a mental scale, and just consult them, consider them, perhaps some of them as your friends, some of them as your disciples, some of them as your mentor, and just exchange your information. Stop wasting your time, because it is the most important thing you will ever have in your life, and you don't know what the tomorrow will bring, and tomorrow might bring you some very bad news, and you will be disappointed with yourself because you have spent your valuable time in a very bad way. So keep those words in mind, and I really hope you like the videos. You can, if you bring some likes and mentions and comments, I will be very happy. Just consider that, no push. And I hope to get to see you in the next video. Goodbye.